I would like to welcome you to Water Your Soil. So this video is called Why Fixing Your Credit Score is Not One Size Fit All. Why fixing your credit is not one size fit all. A lot of times people come to me and they want their credit, they want help with their credit. They have different questions about how they can fix their credit. And one of the first things I ask them is, what is their credit report looking like? Do they have their credit report? And I say a good 8 times out of 10, they don't have their credit report. And that's a problem, because in the medical field or any industry, one of the first steps to fixing or solving a problem is to know what you have to fix or solve. So a lot of times people think that, they watch, I'll be honest, I know where it comes from. All over the internet, YouTube, social media, there are videos and there are people telling people that, fixing their credit is easy. They try to give them a universal solution to fixing their credit. And to be completely honest with you, there is no universal solution to fixing credit. I'll say that again. There is no universal solution to fixing credit. And the reason why I feel this way is because every credit report is different. Not only that, credit scores are different. Listen, you could have an 820 credit score and you have your own credit report, right? But I guarantee you, someone else with an 820 credit score does not have an identical credit report as you. And this is why I never go by the whole, if you do this, you can raise your credit score 100 points. Or if you do that, you can raise your credit score 100 points. How? How can you raise your credit score 100 points when your credit report may not necessarily reflect the advice that they're given? As I tell people, this is a case-by-case thing. I always tell people, it's subjective. It depends on, your personal experience, your personal credit report, So a lot of times people come to me and they believe that I just have one solution that's just gonna magically resolve their issue, and that's not the case at all. And I doubt it ever will be the case unless they change how credit scores are scored. See, here's the thing. Some people have bad credit scores because they have a high amount of debt. Some people have bad credit scores because they don't have enough debt. They don't have enough accounts. Basically, they don't have enough accounts open. They don't have enough credit card accounts. They don't have enough accounts in general. Some people, they're somewhere in the middle between fair and good, because not only do they have too much debt as far as their accounts, they also don't have enough accounts. So maybe they have a student loan account but no credit cards. As you can see, it varies. Different people have different things with their credit report. So the number one step to fixing your credit is to know what's on your credit report. That's the number one step. And it's kind of sad because I rarely hear people, when they're giving credit advice, say this as far as knowing your credit report. I always tell people to know their credit report, study their credit report on a month-to-month basis if you can. There are tons of apps and things of that nature where you can get your credit report on a month-to-month basis. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to the amount of debt that you have on a month-to-month basis. Pay attention to what your accounts are doing on a month-to-month basis. Pay attention to make sure nothing is showing up on your account on a month-to-month basis. These things are important. You have to know your account. That's my first word of advice to anyone who's trying to fix their credit. Download your credit reports, all 3 of them, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, all 3 of them. Go to annualcreditreport.com and download your credit report. The first step is you have to know your credit report. You have to know what's on there. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because your credit report is going to give you a clue of why your credit score is not where it needs to be. And if it doesn't give you a clue, because maybe you don't understand it, maybe you're not that far along enough in the credit journey to understand what's hurting you and why it's hurting you, then you can ask someone who's a consultant or someone who's a coach or who will help, who knows about credit. You can ask them to look at your report and point out the things that are hurting you. And if they know anything and are knowledgeable in regards to credit and credit scoring, I'm sure they'll be able to point out what about your credit report is currently hurting you. But the first step is to know your credit report, because it all depends on your credit report. Your credit report is not going to look like the next person's credit report. You guys could have the same type of debt, the same type of accounts, but it may not look identical. There's a 9 times out of 10 possibility that your credit report is not gonna be identical to the next person's. You all could have the same credit score. You both could be at a 568. However, your credit report more than likely looks different. So the way for you both to solve your issues will more than likely be different. Maybe they have more student loan debt than you. Maybe you don't have enough credit card accounts open. Maybe you have too much credit card debt. So it varies. It varies. And I wish this was told more, but I'm here to tell it. The number one thing that you need to do when you're trying to fix your credit, and I could have titled this video this, but the number one thing you need to do when you're trying to fix your credit is first get your credit report. It's like a doctor or a surgeon trying to operate on someone, and they're going off an assumption, and they don't even have a clue of what's wrong with that person. They have something wrong with their arm, and the surgeon decides to operate on their leg because of whatever reason. That's what's happening in the world of credit right now. Just universal advice for shot at people that can't even really benefit from it. So you have to know your credit report, because your credit report is going to determine when you need to start. It will tell you when you need to start, or where you need to start, what you need to start working on. Now, I can tell you, just from being experienced with this for so long, more than likely you're gonna have to cut down on your debt to credit ratio. You're gonna have to cut down on the debt that you do have on the accounts that you do have. You're gonna have to chop that down. Now, if that's not your case, then this is what I mean. You're gonna have to go into other areas, such as maybe you need to get and sign up for a secured card. The advice varies, and the reason why the advice varies because different people have different things on their credit report. So there is no one size fit all solution with credit scores and credit reports. You have to know your own report. That's the number one rule to follow. Know your own report. I'll be talking about this more in the future because honestly, I'm tired of witnessing it and I'm tired of seeing it. There's nothing I can do about it, but over at this channel, that is not what I'm going to practice. You're not going to see me post a video saying you can raise your score 100 points by doing this, because like I said, credit is universal. Different things will set off different people's credit score. It all depends on what their credit report looks like. That's what it depends on. How can I tell someone to chop down debt and it'll improve their credit score if they don't have debt? That's all subjective. When I mentioned that earlier in this conversation, in this video, that's relating towards people who actually have debt, and that was an assumption to throw out there. However, your credit report will tell you where you need to start. I would like to thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you like this video. I'm big on likes because that keeps this channel going. That keeps the algorithm going. And plus, if you made it this far in the video, liking the video, you must like something about the video. But anyways, this is Water Your Soil. I'm going to keep the videos coming. Also, I think I'm going to get on a pattern when it comes to the videos. I think I'll be, outside of this video, be posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, more than likely in the evening, you could be looking out for more videos from me. That's probably going to be the pattern that I go on weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays, as far as video uploads. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching and listening. I appreciate it.